People who have Medicare and but missing benefits, they could really use extra benefits. They may be eligible to receive.
Can y'all hear me? Because I don't know if anybody's, it looks like somebody's trying to talk. Brad, are you talking?
I was
Okay,
asking
you
how
can hear
you
me.
were doing.
Brad, it looks like you're trying to talk, but I can't hear you. So I don't know if it's just me.
I can hear him.
Amanda, I can't hear you either.
Oh, man.
Special needs plan, you could have doctor,
Let me
hospital,
see.
and drug coverage, plus extra benefits in one convenient plan. Most plans.
Okay,
The Humana Healthy
it's me. Okay, I think somebody try to talk now.
Hello.
Okay, and y'all can hear me. Perfect. I
Yep.
can hear you now. Brad. Awesome. Okay, I don't know what was going on. I switched where it was going, so no, thank you, Abel. That's what I needed to know, that I was the problem. Okay, let's see. Did I hit record? I think I did.
Vision coverage, including eye exam, and a yearly
All right.
towards eyewear.
I gotta make sure we stream this into the group. So while I'm doing that last little step for this, does anybody have any questions before we get started? Happy to answer whatever y'all have.
Best of all, if you have Medicare and Medicaid, you're eligible to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan right now. So if you have Medicare and Medicaid, hold out. There's a plan in your area that could give you extra.
Right. So how's while I'm doing this, how's everything going for everybody? Is anybody currently working on marketing? How's that going for y'all? Any quotes going out? All the things. Y'all can feel free to unmute yourself if you want to chat, or if you want to just drop comments in the chat, y'all are welcome to do that. Either way, I'm happy to communicate with y'all that way.
I'll pitch in. I've got about 4 different clients, potential clients, I should say, about 4 different potentials possibly coming in the next several weeks to a month or so. Not because of marketing though, but because a local bookkeeper is retiring, and so they're coming to me to take over their books. So that's
awesome.
Exciting. Yeah, it's really
good
exciting.
Deal.
Yep.
Yeah, and you say it's not for marketing, but how did you meet her? Was it some type of networking that you did to be able to meet that local bookkeeper?
No, I knew her from previously when I worked outside the home. And I don't know that she I don't know if she was recommending me, or if just the local people around knew that I was doing bookkeeping as well, because there's not very many of us in my small little town.
Gotcha.
And so I'm not 100% sure if she's the one that was steering them to me, or if they just knew that I did bookkeeping or asked around and found out that so at least somehow my name is out there, people know that I'm doing this. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's huge for sure. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that, because you don't always know for sure where the leads are coming from, or sometimes it doesn't feel like marketing's working or whatever, but like building those relationships and all that's huge. Brad said reach out to her today. Brad, always marketing but doesn't work. I know we've talked about this before. Remind me, I know you're marketing, but are you getting leads? Are people coming to you with questions and stuff for quotes, or are you just getting like absolutely no traction?
I'm getting no traction.
Okay. Then we definitely need to really dig deep into why. And you're doing strictly like Facebook, or remind me of that as well?
Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are really my 3 right now. And I'm not doing paid ads. I'm doing posts.
Yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't. I mean, I've done a few paid ads and honestly have had no results with it.
Right.
I think doing like organic is honestly the best way to get clients. And especially if you're not making money yet, like if you're making money and you have money to put into it, but a lot of, especially when you're doing like Facebook ads and stuff, there's a lot of strategy that needs to go into it. And you almost have to have somebody who knows how to work Facebook ads and what they need to say and stuff like that to be able to get
Right.
it. So you don't want to pour a lot of money into something like that, especially when you're not getting anything back right now, for sure.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, I'm 6 years in and I'm still not running ads. So it's definitely not something I would highly recommend. Okay, well, we'll talk, like today is going to kind of be a whole lot of marketing. So I have some information and everything for y'all that I'm going to give y'all, and we're going to talk about that. I don't know if this will be things that are different than what you've been doing, Brad. But one of the biggest things is we want to make sure that we are keeping the momentum, that we're keeping the consistency and all the things as we're going into the end of the year. Brad, somebody asked how long it's been since you've started marketing.
Oh gosh. I've really started at about 4 years ago. Unfortunately, I have had the most of my run-ins with people that are offering marketing are fly by night, and I didn't know that before I engaged them. But somebody.
So you've paid some people to do marketing for you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And they got the money and they disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Okay.
But
yeah, I think you've told me that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did run into a gal in the Philippines that I just told her what I do, didn't go long depth, and she took what I said I do and ran with it and made some beautiful ads on Facebook. And I would copy those into LinkedIn and Instagram. And I actually got some decent responses from her posts.
Okay.
But then she disappeared like, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I couldn't call her anymore, couldn't reach out to her on Facebook or Messenger or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever used ChatGPT at all?
No, I've not.
Okay. So one thing that you could do is take some of the stuff that she gave you, some of those old posts. And we're going to talk a little bit about coming up with post ideas and things like that too, today. But take some of those old posts, put it into ChatGPT, and like one thing you have to do with ChatGPT if you're going to use it is let it know what you like. Make sure you take the wording. If you don't like the way it's worded, you reword it. You make it sound like you. If you have something that seems to go really well that you're getting tons of engagement on, you post it in there or you put it in there and you tell it, hey, this is working really well. We need something else worded this way, things like that. But it's got to learn your voice and be able to talk. I'm going to say talk like you, but the wording needs to be similar. That way you're putting your voice out there. Cause that's definitely been one of those things that I've noticed. Like personally, I've used people that have like pre-made posts, people that'll make posts for me, like whatever the case is. And a lot of it has been pre-made stuff. But if I start posting that, it's almost like I'm not getting hardly as much traction because my audience can tell it's not me, it's not my voice. Whereas when I'm posting it and it's me and my personality, because that's who's on my Facebook page, is people that know me, they know my personality, I've connected with in some type of way. So if they start seeing this other stuff, it's like, this isn't her. Like it's almost like they can sense that in a way, I guess. So I don't get as good of traction. And that's just been a personal thing for me. Some people have had great results with it. But it's definitely one of those things that you kind of do have to play with and figure out what works well for you and what doesn't. And don't be like set in, this is all I'm doing and all of the things, and that's it. So and I'll give y'all an example. So like one thing that I've always done, and I started like very early on in my business, I've kind of gotten away from it now, but especially early on, it's hard to come up with a lot of times ideas on what am I going to post today? And y'all probably heard me say this all the time. And y'all, we're going to talk other types of marketing, but this is Facebook since, and Instagram and all the social media, since that's kind of how the conversation led. But, what I've done is like, okay, for 5 days, what is a like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? What is a topic or a pillar for that day that I can use? So like, and y'all, these are examples of what I did. You do not have to do it. These same things, you do what feels good to you and to your audience and fits your personality and the people that you want to do business with, because what the people I'm attracting is not going to be your people necessarily. So think about that whenever I'm saying all this. So like Mondays would be like some type of motivational mindset post. And so every single day is not necessarily bookkeeping, but I can tell you, I had a lot of people, especially early on in my business, reaching out to me saying, hey, can we talk about you doing my books? I really connected with you because of your mindset post and stuff like that. So just think about it from that standpoint. So motivational and mindset post was Mondays. Tuesdays, I always did like some type of tax tip. Wednesdays, I did like a wellness type Wednesday. So business owners struggle with putting themselves first, their wellness, all of the things. So what can we do to focus on that? Thursdays would be like a strictly, let's advertise my business. This is what I do, that type of thing. And then Fridays would be a funny Friday. So what's something, whether it was just a random funny something that I could post, or it was something related to bookkeeping, related to taxes, related to whatever. If y'all follow me, y'all have seen some of it on my Facebook. And a lot of this, again, you can use ChatGPT to get some ideas. When I first started, like ChatGPT is something that's recent thing. When I first started, I was going on Pinterest and typing in, what are tax tips? What is bookkeeping tips? Different things like that to help me come up with some ideas. And there'll be graphics that'll have like top 10 tax tips, top 10 bookkeeping tips, different things like that. And then you could break that into, different posts for the week. So kind of think about that. Let's see. Yeah, somebody commented yesterday, I started using Blaze.ai. It still takes some work to set up, but it helps and auto posts based on the schedule you set up. I'll keep you posted on the results. Yeah, definitely do. And then I say a credit card question. We will get to that as soon as we finish up the discussion on marketing. But so just to kind of give you an idea and try to get a feel for like, what can I post to be able to post every single day? And that way you're also, and you'll see this a lot of times, people are not always engaging with every single post and stuff that comes up. So what can you do to get people to engage? So when you're posting the funny stuff, you're posting some kind of engaging stuff, you're posting some type of motivational stuff, that's going to get more traction typically. And one thing we do have to remember is outside of just posting, we do have to be sending friend requests out. We do need to be interacting with the people that are on our Facebook page that we're having conversations with so that they are seeing our posts and stuff. So you want to make sure that you're doing all of those things so that it's all, so that you're getting traction, you're building your audience and all the things. So now to kind of like get back to we're in October. A lot of people feel like clients are not going to sign. It's a slow time of year. A lot of bookkeepers, and this is kind of where you can be ahead of the game and be there and be in the front of business owners' minds, because a lot of business owners slow down this time of year because it's the holidays, because they think everybody's busy. They're just going to wait till January when tax season gets here and all the things. You don't have to do that. If you keep doing your marketing, if you keep doing the things now, there's business owners that are already starting to panic because I have no idea how much money I made this year. I don't know if I have enough money set aside for taxes. Do I need to go out and spend something? That's like the top question that like people will come and like, hey, I need books done because I don't know if I need to go out and spend more money to be able to do so. and different things. So I don't have to pay as much in taxes. So I mean, obviously that's a tax strategy question, but they need their books in order to be able to do that.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that you are the person when they're having these things come up, that you're there and they're seeing you. They're having the and I'm saying they're seeing you. They just saw your posts on Facebook. They saw you at those in-person networking groups, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you're there, you're being consistent, you're showing up. Because when they're looking, they're going to remember, hey, Brad has a business. Let me go reach out to Brad and see if he can handle my bookkeeping for me. So we want to make sure we're there because, again, a lot of other bookkeepers start slacking off right now, and all of the things.
Yeah, you're right. And I have to learn to be more consistent as well, because I've slacked in that area because I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but I get to the point that why am I doing this? It's not working. It didn't work yesterday. What's going to make it work today? Hello. So I run into all that, and I'm not consistent, and I know I've got to be consistent.
Right. Yeah, consistency is definitely the key. You definitely have to make sure that you are consistently showing up. Because again, the one thing that we've seen, and Sherry's talked about this before too, like you might have people, and I can tell y'all, like personal experience, there's a lot of times where I'm like, I don't have, like, it feels like nobody's liked the post, or maybe you have one like or whatever. And then somebody sends me a message and they're like, hey, can I talk to you about doing my books? They've never liked the post. They've never commented on anything. But it does get discouraging because it's like, nobody's like, is anybody even seeing my post? Because nobody's liked it. Nobody's commented on it, whatever. But you don't know who is watching. So, and again, some of these people, I'm 6.5 years in now. So 6.5 years, some of them I've been friends with them on Facebook for years and all the things, and they're just now reaching out. So you don't know when they're going to need a bookkeeper. And let's face it, how many people start, and not even just bookkeeping businesses, but any business, and it's like, oh yeah, they just did it for like a year or whatever, and then now they gave it up because it was just the hobby thing or whatever. So some people aren't confident to reach out yet because they want to make sure you're going to stick around, that you're going to do their books. So you just don't know where any of these people are coming from. So that's part of the reason why it's so important to stay consistent, to continue to show up, because they're making sure you're staying consistent. You're going to continue to show up, because if they want you to do their books, a lot of people, one thing that you see is people are not, now obviously there's exceptions to this rule, but for the most part, business owners are not regularly switching bookkeepers. That's something they want to keep somebody on for a long haul. Now obviously, there's exceptions. There's times where that's not the case. But so if they want to keep you on for a long haul, you're looking at their finances, you're looking at all these different things. They want to make sure you're going to be around for a while doing it. They don't want you to just be doing it for a couple months. Now I got to find somebody else to do it. So consistency is huge. And I will tell you all this, but there was a stat that I found while like prepping for all of this. And it said business owners are 3 times more likely to search for bookkeeping help in the 4th quarter than they are in the 2nd quarter, because that's when pain points for tax times start getting closer. They start kind of freaking out, because again, a lot of people are, do I need to spend money? Should I have paid myself this year? Like you kind of have all those things that are coming up. So they're having questions, or they kind of freak out because, oh, it feels like I made a ton of money this year, but there's no money in my bank account. What's going to happen come tax time? So it's some of those like panic moments that we got to make sure that we're that person that they're going to see and say, hey, let me reach out to Brad because he's looking for a bookkeeper. I mean, because he's doing bookkeeping. So you want to make sure that you are that person, that you're showing up. So visibility in October is huge. We want to be present when people start looking. We want to be there, and all the things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. And you know, even though I know what you're saying is right, I agree with you. I just run into that. I guess I run into a poor me attitude when it's not working like I think it should. But I'm going to get rid of that attitude. I'm going to take it out with the trash today and just stick to.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick to consistency, consistency, consistency. So,
Yeah, definitely. And actually that was kind of that was a point that I was going to make as well. Was if you can, like, pre-schedule out some of your posts, whether it's like, hey, I have a document and I'm copying and pasting it over, you pre-schedule it. Somebody mentioned that Blaze.ai, they're pre-scheduling posts, but something like that, because it takes away the emotion behind it. So when you feel like, hey, I'm not getting any traction and stuff, now you might feel like, hey, I'm not going to show up because it's not working anyway. What's the point? Where
yeah,
if the posts are pre-scheduled, it's going to do it for you. So you're continuing to show up and you're continuing to make it happen.
right.
Amanda said, I pre-schedule all my social media posts. It's a game changer. So yeah, I mean, it's that way that you have something there. And I can tell you, I have not done it recently, but I definitely need to get back in the habit of pre-scheduling. If you can pre-schedule on your business page. Y'all know I like to post on my personal page and stuff as well, but if you pre-schedule on your business page, at least if you have that stuff going there, you can always copy and paste it to your personal page or share it to your personal page. Either way, that way you kind of have it on both, on your personal and your business. But yeah, you can pre-schedule if you're using Instagram and Facebook. There's a pre-scheduler in Facebook that connects Instagram and Facebook together. So you can have posts go to both places. Yeah. No, I'm not kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the business. When you go into your Facebook business page in the business suite, there's a post scheduler in there, and it asks you if you want to connect Instagram and stuff, and yeah, you can schedule it all right there.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I will have to look into that.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So pre-scheduling posts is when things get quiet, is going to be one of those things that's huge because, again, it takes the emotion out of it. Two, we already talked about having the pillars to kind of help you and guide you on, so you know what to talk about, what to post about every day.
Right.
So kind of rotate those out. And again, Brad, like we talked about earlier, if you have posts that you felt like, hey, those were really working and I got some really good traction from it, let's repurpose some of that. It doesn't have to be a copy and paste and we use the same thing, but I mean, you said you've been doing this for 4 years now. If it was some that was a year ago, 2 years ago, you can copy and paste it and reuse it, and nobody's going to remember that was the same post.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, reuse some of that content. It's there. It worked. Let's take advantage of that. But again, put it in ChatGPT or some of these other AI programs that they're talking about, and you can repurpose the content and get some new one that still sounds kind of similar, even though you don't have that person to do it for you anymore. And then the third thing that I would suggest with that is let's talk to that stressed business owner who's just looking for peace. We don't need to, like, you don't want to you want to try to not be all over the place with your marketing. So, or who you're speaking to, if you try to hone in onto that one person and just really think about who your ideal person is. Why are they reaching out to you? What are their pain points right now? Is it because they're panic mode? They have no idea how much money they made, like all those things. Try to think about all that. And if it's like, if you have clients now and you know who that person is, use that person as an example. If you don't have clients, have you had potential conversations with people who is that, or do you know who that person is? Because you can speak on some of those pain points that they have told you in the past and all the different things. Because I've had people reach out and they're like, oh, I paid $20,000 in taxes this year. And it ended up being like, hey, it was an overpayment because their income was duplicated. So like, that's something that I could make a post about, because that's relatable. That's what people get. I don't want to pay $20,000 in taxes because my income's duplicated. But as a regular business owner and I'm doing my own bookkeeping and QuickBooks, how do I know my income's duplicated? They probably don't. This person had no idea.
Right.
But it was something when I got in there and I did a review, I saw and we found it. So she was able to go back and do an amendment and got a refund. So it's different things like that. And Brad, you do taxes, so you might have seen some of these things. Have you
Right.
gotten a tax bill like XYZ because you didn't even track your mileage? You didn't track your home office expenses. Like there's so many different things that you can bring up. And like I said, from a tax perspective, you do taxes, so you have that information and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So kind of think about some of those, and you want to speak to that person, and start making your posts like you're speaking to that one person, to that pain point, whatever it is. And we want to let's make sure that we're continuing to do some type of marketing. Here's a couple of things that we can make sure that like we're doing as we're going into this fourth quarter, to make sure that, or we're in the fourth quarter rather, make sure that we are continuing to keep the momentum, staying in front. So let's follow up with any past leads that you've had. If you've reached out to somebody and they're like, I'm not interested right now, maybe later, those are people. If somebody said no, you can reach out to them. I'll tell y'all, instead, like it doesn't even have to be, especially if it was an email conversation or something, it doesn't even have to be a like, hey, let me do your books. It could be something as simple as like, hey, the holidays are coming up. Here's my holiday hours. Or holidays are coming up. Hope you and your family have a great whatever holiday. Different things like that, because again, that's still you getting in front of these people, reminding them, hey, I'm Brad, I'm doing bookkeeping, because they're seeing either your message, your email, whatever. So they're reminded, hey, I'm doing bookkeeping still. So they know that you're in the front of their mind, whether it's now that they're thinking about it or it's a couple of weeks down the road. The next thing, let's make sure some of the content that you're sharing is about cleanups. Remind them that they don't have to wait till January and be in a panic. And I don't know if I'm able to file my taxes on time. We have to file an extension, like all these different things. Some people are so used to having to file extensions. Let's get ahead, like remind them in a post, like, hey, let's get ahead of this now so you don't have to file the extension come March, April, whenever. Post some wins as you're working with clients, as you're having conversations. And again, Brad, this could be from a tax perspective for you if you have clients, different things, but it doesn't even have to be number specific, but the peace of mind that you're giving the people, like whatever the pain points are that your clients are worried about, what can we say, like what kind of wins are you giving your clients? Are you giving them peace of mind? Or did you lower their tax bill for them? Did you make sure they were taking advantage of all the tax deductions? Like what are some of those things that we can share those wins for? Because those are going to be things that other potential clients, other business owners are going to really, truly relate with.
Okay.
Another thing I would suggest is I'm going to say go live. I'm going to say this, and you can do it too. A video is going to be the way to go. Obviously, whether it's go live like we're doing here, or it could be like a reels, something along those lines. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your face, because I hear that all the time. Like, I don't want people to see my face when I'm talking, whatever. You could do B-roll. And what do I mean by B-roll? Like just take a video of the computer, whatever. Just have something as the background and you're talking. Until you get comfortable and confident. Obviously, you're going to build a lot quicker if people are getting to know you, they're seeing your face and stuff like that. We have to remember that we are building bookkeeping businesses. So people want to know, like, and trust us because we're dealing with their finances. So if you're going live, that helps because, again, they're getting to know, like, and trust you. But as a new bookkeeper, that can be scary at the same time to go live, not know who's going to show up, not know what kind of questions you're going to get answered. And honestly, just as a bookkeeper in general, because a lot of us are introverts. So I don't want my face on the screen. I don't want all these things, but you can do reels where they're only 60 to 90 seconds long, give them a tax tip. And guess what? You're even show up in more places than just their news feed, because when you do reels, half the time, a lot of business owners at the end of the day, we're on our phones, we're scrolling, watching all these videos. Now Brad's video pops up telling me about tax deductions I might have missed. And bam, now I know. I didn't know who Brad was, but now I saw him on my Facebook page. So I'm going to go follow him and reach out to him when I'm ready. So it's different things like that. Again, the face, the video, the voice, you're helping build that relationship. So how can we build that relationship? How can we get people to build that trust, get to know us better and quicker? Videos are a huge help with that. And
Okay.
I mean, y'all know this, and Brad, especially you, because you were taken advantage of with some of the marketing stuff in the past. It's scary right now, not knowing who's behind the Facebook profile or who I'm really talking to, because of all the scams and all the things that are out there. We don't know who's going to take advantage of us. We don't know what's legit, what's a scam, whatever. So kind of keep that in mind as well, because when they see your face, when they hear your voice, they're getting to know you. So now it feels a little more comfortable, and they felt a little more confident reaching out saying, hey, look at my books for me.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's huge. And like I said, you personally, because of the situations that you've been through, you've kind of been there. So so you know that, and you see that, and it makes a difference, you know.
Right.
Okay, so and then let's talk a little bit about, so all of this. Now let's talk a little bit about what are some other ways, if you're not just, because I know a lot of us, most of us want to do virtual, whether it's Facebook, social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, virtual BNIs, whatever the case is. A lot of us like doing those, but what are some other options on things that we can do to bring in clients and stuff? So networking events, Chamber of Commerce, BNI groups, stuff like that are great options. So any type of in-person. I found in-person groups, ironically, through Facebook when I first started my business. And some of it was simply by going into some of the neighborhood groups and pages and just posting, hey, where are some local small business groups? I'm trying to grow my business. I would like to go as a guest and whatever. Most of the time, people get credit for bringing guests. So everybody wants to raise their hand and everybody wants to bring you and whatever. So making a post like that, that's a great way to do it. Again, chambers of commerce. If you're doing BNI specifically, you can do Business Networking International website and find something local to you. But there's other groups a lot of times besides BNI and chambers too in your local area that business owners have put together.
Yeah. All right. I'll look for something local. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, and if you another thing to keep in mind, like if you can't find it, maybe schedule it, because if you're looking for it, somebody else is, and it could be as simple as like, hey, I'm gonna go to this coffee shop on Mondays at 8 a.m. All business owners are welcome to come join me, or something along those lines. You know, if you're a mom, it could be a play date. Let's go to the park. Other mom business owners, let's just take a break in the day and go let the kids play and run around. It doesn't have to be anything formal where you feel like I know BNI is like, hey, I got to do presentations and all this. This doesn't have to be that. This is about building relationships and stuff like that. Because even if the person that you're talking to, that you're having these, whether it's coffee chats, meetups, whatever with, some of them may not be your actual ideal client,
Right.
but they could know people that are. And I've had a lot of experience with that because I've went to a lot of in-person groups and stuff. You could do like vendor events with the holidays coming up. A lot of small business groups do like trunk or treats, different things like that. So where are some places like that you can go meet people, get in front of other business owners and all the things. So that's the whole goal, is to start building those relationships and stuff. Another suggestion is going to be and y'all, I know I'm throwing a ton of information at y'all. So if y'all have questions, like feel free to drop them in the chat. I will, I'm going to get to all y'all's questions in a minute. Collaborations is going to be another suggestion that I would have. So she's in the bedroom. Tax professionals. So whether it's a CPA, a tax strategist, a tax preparer, but also like that's always the go-to because a lot of us are not filing taxes. So bookkeepers, that's what we look for first. But financial advisors are great because they're always looking. CFOs are always looking for bookkeepers to be able to refer people to. So there's so many other options, or there are business coaches in your area that you can reach out to because they're going to want their clients to have their bookkeeping done. Is there a website designer? Is there like all these different, any kind of professional service that other business owners are using? Those are going to be great collaborations to have and to start. And you could do lives on Facebook like we do here. You could do in-person groups. You could do different things like that. So then you're hitting your audience and their audience and all the different things.
Okay.
Referrals is going to be another thing. So if you have business owners that you're working with currently, whether it's taxes, whether it's other things, will they send you some business? Sometimes you could do like, hey, anybody who sends a referral, maybe they get.
Okay, we lost you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you are.
Okay. Awesome. I don't know if it's my internet or what. But you could do like coffee gift cards, like here's $10 for every referral you send me, something along those lines. And then you could use Facebook groups, things like that and stuff as well, to be able to go in, post, and get clients, potentials, because people are going to be in those Facebook groups either looking for bookkeepers, they're looking to grow their business, they're looking to network, whatever the case is. So there's tons of those options there.
Right.
We have a couple of questions in the chat. Let's see. Cynthia said she pre-schedules using Canva. So that would be an option as well, Brad. You could pre-schedule your posts with Canva.
Right.
With everything we post, should there be a call to action link? I think that I'm going to say yes, but it depends on what you're posting at the same time. So, you can always invite them to comment regardless. So like, let's say Mondays, I'm doing mindset. Maybe I'm going to say I'm struggling with, staying consistent when my marketing is not working or something like that. I'm going to post something like that. And maybe I'm going to ask who else feels like they're in that boat as well. And you just kind of get them to raise their hand so they hit comment and stuff. Those are great because now you're asking for engagement. So, but if you're doing like, hey, do you need a bookkeeper? Yes, you want to put a call to action. So invite them to send you a DM, invite them to comment on the post, invite them to send you an email, whatever that's going to look like. As far as a link, you got to be careful with Facebook on links in the post itself, because a lot of time, if it takes them outside of Facebook somewhere, Facebook does like the algorithm stuff, it messes with that, and they won't let those posts be seen as much if the link's going to take them outside of Facebook. But you can put a link in the comments and then the post gets seen a little bit more. So usually what I do is just tell them like comment below, or I'll say DM me or something along those lines if I'm going to do that. But again, I think it depends on the type of post, on whether you put a call to action. If it's bookkeeping related and you're trying to get clients from that post specifically, yes, you want it. Other posts, it's great to ask a question, tell them to comment, something like that. Because one thing we got to remember is when we talked about the 5 different posts that we were going to do, the 5 different pillars every day, on the Monday mindset post, you're probably going to get a ton of comments and ton of likes and stuff like that. Whereas the marketing post on Thursday, you might not. But guess what? Because they commented, because they like that post, now the algorithm's showing them more of your other post. So they are seeing some of the other marketing posts and stuff as well. So that's kind of the reason, like, you want to make sure you spread out your content and you do a variety of different things, because even though they're not interacting with some of that other stuff. And again, a lot of times, like, you can go look at my post and I'll have call to actions and nobody's commenting or whatever, but then I'll get a DM from somebody who's never liked or never commented on anything, and they need a bookkeeper. Just, they're not the ones that are commenting are usually not the ones that even need. Every once in a while, I'll have somebody who truly wants services that comments on the post, and we go from there. But most of the time, they're just sliding in your DMs or sending you an email or whatever, and that's how it's happening. So don't feel like because I'm not getting likes, I'm not getting comments, that people are not seeing it. They are, because I'm going to tell you another thing. Even I've done tons. I have kind of slacked off with the reels and stuff, but I've done tons of reels and all those different things. And I'll have like these random people that'll send me a message, or I'll have a conversation with, I'll run into the grocery store or whatever. And they'll be like, hey, I didn't know I had to keep my business and my personal expenses separate. And it's like, okay, so people are watching, they're not commenting, they're not liking, but they're seeing and they're retaining their information and they're remembering because they're telling me that when they run into me in the grocery store. So you don't know who's watching, who's seeing your post, but they are seeing, they are paying attention. So it's super important to make sure you're not slacking off on doing
Right.
it.
You know, that really hit home when you said that, because I have run into a lot of people that are commingling funds. I mean, I see that every day, and they don't realize or understand that you have got to keep those things separate.
Yeah. You're correct. I'm going to tell you, that has been, it feels like to us as a bookkeeper or a tax preparer or whatever, that should be like a no-brainer, that everybody knows that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah, it's like one of those things we take advantage of. But I can tell you that has been one of those things that I've gotten the most comments of people coming to me saying, I had no idea that like I had to keep my stuff separated. You do, like,
Yeah.
you really and truly do need to. So yeah, so I mean, that's a great post, a great reel, a great conversation to have with business owners, because a lot have no idea. Some do, but most do not. They have no idea, especially if they're brand new. And you
Right.
got to think about who you're wanting to do business with and stuff. But a lot of them, especially like, okay, construction workers, they start, or like roofing contractors, whatever, they start working for somebody else. They see like dollar signs, like, oh, I can make good money doing this. They start doing it on their own on the side. They have no idea what that entails. They just knew that they could make money doing it. So that's what they start doing. You know, so they need you as a bookkeeper to give them that support, to tell them, no, you can't do this. Yes, you have to do that. Another thing that a lot of times business owners don't know is how to pay themselves, when to pay themselves. Do I have to be on payroll? Can I just take a distribution at any time? Do I need to pay payroll taxes? Like all these different things. That's one of the big things that is always an issue, you know, that you don't have to be on payroll unless as an LLC, you know? So
Right.
Any kind of those posts, those get traction. That's what people are really paying attention to, because it's stuff they don't know, you know?
Yeah. Good. I'll work on that. You were going to respond to, let me see, Cinch Bookkeeping Services, who asked, what do you use for processing clients' credit card, looking for low-cost fees? Aren't we all looking for low-cost fees?
Most definitely. So honestly, right now, what I use is QuickBooks Online. I could, let me see if I can find, I don't know. I know the fees keep changing with them. I'm signed up through Complete Business Group. I'll drop the link here so y'all have it. So you could sign up with this link if y'all want it. Because they get a discount compared to like if you just go and sign up for like to process through QuickBooks without it. So I mean, again, I've been doing this for 6 years, so I'm kind of like grandfathered into some of the prices. So like my ACH is, if I try to process everybody ACH. So if it's ACH, it's 1% and it caps out at $10. So especially cleanup jobs and stuff like that, that's how I try to do it.
Wow.
Credit cards is closer to 3%. It's like 2.8, I want to say. But it's, again, there's no cap on that, so that the fees hit hard, especially if you're doing a cleanup job. I don't know where everybody else is. QuickBooks just was one of those. It's been the thing that I signed up with when I first started. So it's kind of just been easier for me just to stick with it. So that's kind of what I've done. I looked into Stripe for a while. The fees are pretty comparable to what I'm paying with QuickBooks. I don't know what their current fees are, so if there's any difference there. So they're pretty comparable there from that standpoint. And Stripe's great. You have ACH options and stuff available. For me, it's just QuickBooks. I can have it all in one place and all the things. So,
Right.
yeah. So I don't know if you have any other questions about that, Cinch Bookkeeping, I'm happy to answer, but that's kind of that's what I do. And again, like through Complete Business Group, they kind of sell QuickBooks services, I guess you would say. So they get it like at a discount compared to if you just went straight to QuickBooks. So.
Okay.
All right. Y'all, I know that was tons of information. Does anybody else have any questions? It can be bookkeeping questions. It can be marketing questions if we still have marketing questions. I know I threw tons of information at y'all today. You're welcome. But yeah, definitely don't give up. Continue to keep putting yourself out there, keep marketing. It definitely feels like, oh, it's the holidays, so we need to slack off. But if everybody else is slacking off and you're staying consistent, you're going to be the person that those business owners are going to see and are going to reach out to when they're ready, now that they're stressing, all the things. So don't feel like it's time. A landing page versus a website or both. What should I start with? Honestly, either would work. I would say don't feel like you have to have something to get started or start marketing. When I started my business, all I had was a Facebook page. I was still trying to get my website up and going. So when somebody asked for a website, I just gave them the Facebook link and told them I was working on getting the website started. So, and honestly, right now I am in the process of switching how I'm using my website. So I'm switching from ClickFunnels to Click 360. So my website's down right now. So I mean, you don't have to have a website. Don't feel like you have to get started or feel legit. You definitely don't have to. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, I would just start that. Whatever's easier for you to start would be my suggestion. So if it's a landing page, go for it. If it's a website, go for it. I'm not a tech person by any means. So that's why I was always like, Facebook page was easier because I knew how to do it and all the things. So, but if you have the money and you're wanting to spend or get somebody to develop a website for you, a landing page, or you know how to do it and you have the time, go for it. Let's see. Can you talk a bit on how you handle due to from for clients that have multiple entities and one sub, or just general due from SOPs you handle for clients? So they have multiple entities in one QuickBooks subscription?
Yes.
Okay, so that would not be a due to, due from. If you're doing it like that, you would want to class track that. But I have clients who have multiple businesses. It just kind of depends. Like for them, I've been, like most of them I've been doing for a while now. So I know like, hey, when I see these vendors, I know this vendor these charges are always for business A. I know these charges are always for business B. So then it gets coded to if it's not for the business that I'm working in the QuickBooks for, it goes to the due to, due from, and then gets added onto the other books. I'm assuming, is that what you mean?
So yeah, it's something I was been working with Sherry with, but now I've come to a point in the cleanup where it's all of the business tracking, they were tracking it, each entity with locations. It's one parent corporation and then several disregardeds that's being tracked by business. And they weren't using, so a bank account that was owned by one business had an expense for a different business, and it made the business tracking, filtering the balance sheet by business messed up. So I'm trying to clean that up. And because they weren't respecting, double entry accounting, so they were just coding it to that business. When the bank account actually belonged to a different entity. So it's been like giving me like these negative numbers on under that bank account by business. So I'm trying to like get to the due tos, due froms, because some of these entities owe back to the parent company. If that makes sense. It's hard to explain. It's been stressing me out. But I think I'm just gonna have another call with Sherry and see what she says. But I
Yeah,
didn't know. Yeah.
yeah, I probably would just because I'm not familiar with that account. But like I said, normally your due to, due froms, they are on the balance sheet. And if it's, but the ones that I have are not all in the same QuickBooks. It's separate QuickBooks subscriptions that we have. So
Mm-hmm.
if they make a purchase for one of their other businesses out of business A's bank account, then it goes to the due to, due from. That way it doesn't mess up the bank account information or anything like that. And then when I go to put it on the other business books, it goes into the due to, due from and hits the P&L
Mm-hmm.
from there. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's separate subscription, so that'll probably make it a little different. Let's see, Anna, hi, yes, and I've missed some of this since working. I'm going to 100% need to go back and rewatch this. Are you able to? Yeah, I'll tag you, Anna, so you can go rewatch it. I'll do that right now, actually. All right, so anybody else have any questions before we hop off? If not, all right, you are tagged, so you can go back in and rewatch that whenever you have time. You are so welcome. All right, y'all. Well, continue to market. Make sure that we get out of our heads on that it's not working and all the things. Put all that to the side. We need to go make money. So let's make this a priority to go out, market, get as many clients as we can. You have a blessed day as well. And yeah, let us know what questions y'all have. Y'all can feel free to post in the group, send me a message, any of those things throughout the week as stuff comes up. And I look forward to hearing some wins from y'all on the next call. So let's go market. Y'all have an awesome day.
Thanks. You do the same.
You're welcome. Bye.